Oh, welcome back to Vlad the Impaler story, part 5. So where we got up to in the last part, Vlad had earned his name by impaling 200 boyar families, which prompted the actually comments. Because yes, if he didn't replace these lords, his realm would have fallen apart, because, you know, medieval rulers rely on their lords. But Vlad now had a whole bunch of free real estate to give away. So he created a whole bunch of new boyars. They also had no claim, no lineage, so they couldn't overthrow him and would owe everything they had to him. Vlad had their absolute loyalty, whether it's through his generosity or the terror he inspired. Not to mention he had a whole bunch of military reforms. He created like a brand new military social class. The only way you could be part of that was through merit. Social class to go with this brand new standing army. Remember, Vlad wasn't allowed to do any of this. He was technically a vassal state. But Vlad's reforms weren't just military. Around the same period that he was centralizing power around himself, he also started cozying up to the Orthodox Church. Because he knew if you want the people on your side, you need the clergy on your side. They speak to the people. Vlad was around today, he'd have a social media campaign. Hello, it's 9 a.m. on a Monday morning. I'm just outside the walls in front of my impalement forest. Pay your taxes, kids, and don't do treason. But now we come to the part of the story that everyone was waiting for. 1459. Vlad now had a taste of power. He had spent the last few years building Wallachia up. And in 1459, he decided, I'm not paying my tribute to Mehmet. This tax was not only money, livestock, and goods, it was also the devshurum, the blood tax, which I have done another video on. Put simply, the blood tax was boys to serve in the Janissary unit. Think of them like the Unsullied from Game of Thrones. Now, to be fair, when Mehmet sent these emissaries, Vlad was dealing with stuff north of his border with old dynasty supporters and Saxons, and he had that going on. And they may have just caught him on a bit of a bad day. And Vlad, in probably not quite so polite terms, went, I'm not paying the tribute. To which the emissary said, well, you've got to pay the tribute. Which Vlad said, you know what, You've been here all this time and you haven't taken off your turbans as a sign of respect to me. To which the emissaries are like, well, you grew up in the Ottoman court, you know we can't. And Vlad was like, yeah, but you're in my realm now. But they still refused. So he nailed their turbans to their heads. And this is more than just a classic, don't shoot the messenger. The Sultan's emissaries were extensions of the Sultan himself. And Vlad knew this, because what he was doing was goading Mehmet into invading him. He wanted Mehmet's army to come into his lands and fight him on his terms. And Mehmet was only too happy to oblige. Who did this voivode think he was? That Mehmet was the brother of the sun and moon. War with the Ottomans was coming, and come back for part 6.